the end of the work week, Friday, November 22, and it's 33 days until Christmas. Public sector workers anticipating salary increase and education sector funds to be ramped up in 2020. Welcome to Info Hub. Public sector workers are currently anticipating a bright Christmas at the end of this year, following the announcement of a major salary hike. Some of them shared their thoughts on how this move will impact their lives.
VALENCIA WREN is among many who have welcomed the salary increase. She explained that it is a motivation to government employees.
This is definitely the best increase we've had. I think last year was 3.5 or it was below 3, and now we have 8.5 and above. So I think that's something really good that the government did to motivate the public service sector.
STEPHON is another public sector worker who anticipates a productive year-end.
I think it's something good that the government doing because, as me, as someone who just started the public service and would like to further my studies, it would come in handy. It would help with transportation because currently I'm attending UGs.
STEPHON Campbell and ADEOLA Trim were also happy to share what this major increase means to them.
For me, it's something great, After a whole year of working in the government, it have a tax-free increase and retroactive. It's something great to do, something great for me for the end of the year.
It will help me to sustain my family a little bit better, me being a single mom, so that's a great help. The increase that the government passed will be a great help, be a great assistance to me.
Since coming into office in 2015, the coalition government has increased public servants' salary by 62%. In 2015, public servants were paid $50,000. The following year, they received $25,000. In 2017 and 2018, public servants received retroactive salary increases. This Christmas retroactive will increase even further. Additionally, sweeper cleaners and all employees in the public sector earning the minimum wage will, from December, receive $70,000 following the implementation of the new public service basic salary. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
With oil production expected to commence in a matter of weeks, Guyana is on the right path to implement the necessary frameworks to ensure the industry is managed effectively and efficiently.
Denton, senior consultant and panelist at the Guyana International Petroleum Business Summit and Exhibition 2019, Dr. Neil Parson, in an interview with InfoHub, remarked that the South American nation is on the path to ensuring the industry is managed in a nationally beneficial way.
Yes, you are having dialogue, you're talking to people who have had the experience, you're engaging the right stakeholders. I think you're adhering to your partnerships.
Dr. Parson noted that diversification in the industry is key to the sustainable management of the country's petroleum resource.
It's a wonderful opportunity to lay the groundwork for a very carefully articulated national development plan, as part, a subset of which is the energy sector. I think it's important that thought be given to a horizontally broad strategy for a properly diversified economy, as well as in the advent of first oil, where does the country wish to be in the context of a changing global energy landscape?
He also commended Guyana for its Green State Development Strategy, Vision 2040.
Having also looked at Guyana's Green State Development Strategy, I must applaud the authors of that document, Vision 2040, because it points to very key opportunities: education, social protection, a low-carbon future.
For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Students of the Kingston Secondary and Queen's College benefited from a public conversation on oil and gas in which they were assured that their future is secured in the expanding sector.
Hosted under the title, How Did We Arrive at First Oil in Guyana? A JHI Perspective, the public conversation was hosted by the American Chamber of Commerce and the JHI Associated Incorporated Company.
Whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish. And in this industry, there's room for men, for women, people of all races. We're the most international and worldly industry you can involve yourself with, bar none. Inclusive. There's every kind of imaginable person that you will meet working in the oil and gas business. And it's not just going to be just in Guyana here. You have an excellent opportunity to get involved locally, but you may end up taking a job and having to go to Norway or go to Houston or go to London or somewhere else in your careers.
That was Richard Boyce, Executive Vice President and co-founder of JHI Associates. According to the President, Frederick Sidos, by the time the students are prepared for the world of work, the sector will be in its prime.
We targeted this event particularly for young students, high school students, so that they could get a little bit of an understanding about what it is to be in our industry, the oil business. And there are some positions that are quite obvious, and you're going to hear quite a lot about those today: geology and geophysics, engineering. But there are some others which maybe some of you might be interested in that are a little different, that maybe you haven't thought so much about, or maybe you didn't think that you could be involved in helping to shape Guyana's future unless you were a petroleum engineer or a geophysicist. But that's not the case. You can help grow this industry and your country regardless of your skill set.
One of the chemical engineers in the field said her company is seeking to help persons become more knowledgeable about the sector.
You can be anything and work in the oil and gas industry. And remember, it provides energy that powers the world, powers everything we do, right? So this is something that is important to every industrialized part of our society.
GHI is a partner in the deepwater Kanji block located 180 kilometers offshore Guyana and adjacent to the currently productive Stabroek block. For InfoHub, Paul McAdam.
With a staggering $52 billion already invested in the education sector for this year, Finance Minister the Honorable Winston Jordan said the government will continue to boost the critical sector as the push for an educated Guyana continues.
Minister Jordan was at the time addressing residents of Leguan in Region 3 during a community meeting on November 17 at Success Primary School. The finance minister said the education sector is one of the focal points of the coalition government, particularly that of His Excellency President David Granger.
Our government, which is spending $52 billion in education for 2019, is expected to ramp up that amount over the next 5 years during our second term in office.
Minister Jordan noted that this year's salary increases has seen teachers, nurses and members of the disciplined forces, among other public sector workers, which clearly demonstrates the equal distribution of the good life.
Lots of money. We have done a little bit last year when we improved the salaries and allowances of teachers. We have to say that is the beginning, but it's a step in the right direction. Similarly, this year, we have done a bit for the health sector, recognizing that our nurses and our doctors face grave circumstances every day.
Minister Jordan further urged the Leguan residents to collaborate and examine how they can all benefit from the better life on the horizon. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
When we return, Georgetown Mayor and City Council commissions 2 bridges and 5th Women in Business Expo launched. Details after the break. Stay with us. Recognizing that accessibility is important, the Mayor and City Council commissioned 2 bridges in Constituency 14, Rheinfeldt Industrial Estate, South Rheinfeldt Gardens.
Residents of the communities have welcomed the developments, in particular the bridge linking South Rumfeld Gardens to Roxon Burnham Gardens, which is a first for the area. The bridges link South Rumfeld Gardens to Roxon Burnham Gardens and Roxon Burnham Gardens to Rasville and cost $535,000 and $13.5 million respectively.
You can see already the impact that it has because people have to go all the way around before they can get across. So this is the best thing that could have happened in a very long time. We are very happy. It's linking. People can now get from Roxanne Burnham to South without having to go all the way around.
Before it was very break up and oversaid. It wasn't right, but seems to now is very okay as you could see, and we like the develop and we're looking forward for many more steps. Don't know the village, love the steps, and we'd still be looking out to see where else more could be done in the neighborhood.
Danroy Tudor, councillor for the constituency 14, noted that while the two bridges will bring relief to those living in the community, the council is already looking ahead to implement other development projects in the area.
There's certainly more work to be done within this constituency, and I know that with the support of the residents, we will get this and much more accomplished.
The commissioning of the bridges is part of the government's vision of linking and creating safe communities. Through this initiative, the Mayor and City Council has built and rehabilitated several bridges across the city. For InfoHub, Ayana George.
The launch of the 5th installment of the Women in Business Expo at the Pegasus International Hotel. The Honorable Minister of Public Health, Walter Lawrence, gave some key remarks.
I am quite certain that this upcoming exhibition would be much larger than the ones before, because I have been able to see so many women across the country getting involved in business in one way or the other.
The number of exhibitors this year surpassed last year's number, which is around 70 persons. It has grown to the extent that General Manager of the Pegasus has agreed to even more space for the event.
While there are many fascinating booths out here today, we're going to take a look at just a couple that caught our eyes.
The first was that of returned businesswoman BIBI Ali, who has told her story in her brand new autobiography.
My story is about a girl from Demerara whose parents was very poor. My mom had 7 children. My father was an alcoholic. My father committed suicide. And I was very sad living in a sad home. Plan become my escape. I started to plan, not realize it become my friend. And from my friend, I realized I started to sell it. And I create money. And I think that's what built me into become this businesswoman I is today.
While the focus is women in business, these women depend on their support system, like Annie Morales, who, having to attend to other duties, left her display in the supportive hands of her brother Enrique. Their business focus is a unique one.
We're dealing strictly with Brazilian products, okay? Strictly from Brazil, skin and hair products for different ethnicity. Also fragrances for both male and females, clothing. We're going to be branding soon the Pitbull for both male and female also, and footwear for both male and females.
The expo originated in Georgetown, but an exclusive from the mayor of Linden reveals that it could be making its debut there soon.
Next year, Linden Town Week, we're attempting to have this same show, but we're having it in the Town Week, where we're giving the women in business in Linden a chance to showcase.
Reporting for InfoHub, Nikosi Bruce.
The Upper Pomeroon community of St. Monica is hoping to develop its ecotourism potential to boost economic development. St. Monica, located in the Upper Pomeroon River, is considering ways of developing its economic potential. During a meeting with residents on Sunday, Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Honorable Valerie Garrido-Lowe, noted that ecotourism is one way in which the community can boost its economy.
You need to establish, other than lumber, a strong village economy, be it agriculture, which we're pushing and supporting, or ecotourism, because hinterland is beautiful. Hinterland is beautiful, and that is one of your assets.
The minister noted that there is support for persons venturing into the sector in areas such as training of tour guides, bookings, catering for guests, and other areas. In this regard, Minister Garrido-Lowe has committed to having an official from the Guyana Tourism Authority visit the community and conduct an assessment of its tourism potential. Nicholas Courtman, headmaster of the St. Monica Primary School, noted that the village has tourism potential.
I'm happy if we can benefit from that tourism sector, because I know that St. Monica is a beautiful place. It's just that it needs some attention to make some of our landmarks and land sites a lot more attractive than they are right now. We have some beautiful hills, we have some nice river and sites in the backlands that need to be developed. We have a shell mound here.
The community currently has accommodation and catering services for visitors to the village. The building boasts 17 rooms, a kitchen, conference hall, and is powered by solar energy. It was also made available for guests. Recently, the community benefited from a refurbished school, health post, and teachers' quarters, and free internet access. Reporting for InfoHub, Natasha Smith. Before we go, here is a reminder to check our website www.dpi.gov.gy and Facebook and Instagram pages for a special report on the commissioning of the Latham Road that took place earlier this evening. You can also get all the details from the outreach starting tomorrow, Saturday, November 23. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.